Alrighty folks, welcome to 406 Regen. I got a lot of projects that are going to be happening here pretty quick and shortly. I got this one that I just picked up yesterday, which you guys know about. I have the tractor warming up so we can I can go spread out that where I was talking about yesterday, where the shed was about 3 weeks in that one spot with sheep when it was about 40 below. Hopefully got a rainstorm moving in. I hope. They are talking about it turning to snow tonight. So, and I have a bearing and I need to drag this out. I have a bearing in this that I need to replace. This is called an aerator. So all it does is you put it down and it just runs down on the ground and puts these little spikes in it. So it just makes a little slit like that and opens it up. And that's the only disturbance it does. Just makes a little hole. So I need to do that. It's spring now here, so I can maybe catch a little bit more moisture on the flats and help out. I mean, I gotta use everything I can to help at the moment. Of course, you know, they're helping. Then I gotta get the seeder ready. So I meant get these boards replaced here on the back. So when you put the seed, so you can put the seed in the seed box, you're not trying to step on broke boards, and that's dangerous. So I need to replace those. So that's going to be on my project list. Oh, and I got to put 2 valves in my post pounder that I borrowed to help it kind of, so it'll be better at pounding in post. And so I can put in my corner post, because I'm doing drill stem corner post. I'm going to do the New Zealand style dead man's braces. I think I've read that they're kind of called either or. So those are all on my to-do list. My brother, he's got his mechanic and stuff, you know, trying to do. Of course, I end up in that mechanic bit too. Oh yeah, I got to put a master cylinder here on this loader to get the hopefully get the front brakes working. This will be the 3rd one I've tried. The other 2 were defective straight from the factory. So if this one don't work, I'm just gonna not have front brakes, I guess, because I need to get this going so I can take it down and clean out the corrals with it. So it's good stuff, good times. But for right now, I'm gonna go move that manure pile around before we get that much moisture on it. So it'll be nicer for that, hopefully not kill everything that was under it where that shed was at. Always trying to do something to keep moving forward. So let me put the camera down, get back out of the yard here, and I'll get up there and start doing that. Alrighty folks, we're getting over here now. It's really surprised and happy with how green the grass is showing up and how tall it is actually trying to get. It's really quite amazing. We had a few warm days and it really just kind of shot up. It's going to be very exciting to see what this does up here after it had that impact on it. I haven't hayed this ground in 3 years because I was trying, and about when the drought started, I was trying to let the alfalfa, I could tell that there was more alfalfa coming in just on its own, so I didn't want to hay it all off. So this hasn't been touched for a little while. It should be, with that impact, it should be fairly decent, I'm thinking, on what, how good it's going to grow up. Now, I'm thinking this is the right pile I'm supposed to aim for. Grass looks to be coming up through this here, okay. A little bit right there, I guess. Yeah, right there. Well, let's get out and look at it anyhow. So we'll see what's going on, because there's no reason that down. No reason doing something if the grass is going to come up through it anyhow. Because then I'm just going to be scraping away the grass. It is pretty thick right here. Yeah. That there'll have to hit. The shed was right here. Yeah, I need to use the bucket here on this. See how thick it got in there. That should spread out pretty nice. But yeah, this was overdone because, like I said, it was like 40 below. And I just couldn't get out here to move the sheep. I couldn't. It wasn't beneficial to move the sheep when it's that cold. Everything was froze down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the bucket on this. Everything was froze down, so I couldn't move them, but it's breaking down good out here, which is nice. As you can see in some of the lighter spots, though, there is grass coming up through it. Like I said, folks, out here, so this is as tall as the grass is right now. This piece here, okay, is that tall. This was last year's grass, so it's already half of what it grew up to last year, right in that spot. And there is quite a bit. It looks like there's decent cover got laid down out here. So, see if I cannot screw up this area too bad. Let's see how this is what I was wanting. See, all that nice cover down here, but yet the grass is coming up through it. That was perfect. That's what we want. And all through here, you can tell it's coming up. So, just that little area right there, and that'll do it. So, let me get some of this scraped up, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, folks, I'm doing the best I can here. My brother is definitely the one that should be doing this job, but he's had a career in dirt work, so if I had that manure spreader going, I just, get it in the bucket, do it that way. Right now, I'm just trying to make it so there's not too big area, or not lose it all out the bucket at once here. Just kind of jimmy it out here and there. Without losing too terribly much, so I don't make a big pile. And if it kind of does out here, this hillside don't do nothing anyway, but if I can, spread it out the best I can here, doing it this way. And that way we can get it. That ain't too terribly bad. Hope we get some of that moisture over there. Sure would be nice. Things saying 100%, but I've learned to not go by the weather forecast at all, so they never seem to be right. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I got it, as you can tell, I got a pile kind of scooped up. I'm trying to take my time so I don't dig, and I'm still trying to leave, the grass. I don't want to get disturbed too much of the grass. So it's kind of hard to do with this big tractor like this, it's easier in a skid steer or something, because everything's right there. But use the tools you got and make them work, right? So that's what we're doing here. And I'll be able to get out and show you here when I get up here, but as you'll be able to tell, it was suffocating the grass. You can see the grass is really white underneath of where I was able to scrape it. Sure makes it look like a big bald spot in the camera, though, I'll tell you that much. trying not to disturb it too terribly much, but yet still enough that I can get the job done, because I don't want it to be all dead up here because he didn't get it moved up. So, yeah. So that's just what I'm kind of doing. I'm just going out in that area, tipping the bucket here and there, and I'm trying very hard to leave, as you can tell. I'm trying very hard not to dig, and I might even just a little bit right there, I don't know. But that's what we're doing now before this moisture shows up. That I did get a little bit of grass. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out here a little bit quicker, but oh well, it'll do what it'll do. Can't just leave it that 6 inches thick or whatever there either, because then that'll just really make the weeds grow, if anything. So can't have that. But I'll keep doing it, and I'll show you when I get done. I'll get out and I'll show you the outcome. Alright, everybody, I think I got the majority of the real thick stuff. I just back drug it out here on the stuff when I couldn't get it in the bucket no more. As you can tell, there's still gonna be some piles, but it won't be 6 inches thick in that big of an area. You know, it'll just be spreadable this way anyway. So. But yeah, it was kind of catch-22 last winter when it was that cold. I couldn't move nothing, and I knew I'd end up with something like this. But so, as you can tell, it was definitely suffocating some of this stuff. I'm hoping it's not dead yet. I'm hoping now that it gets some sunlight, it'll green up, and there's quite a bit of little sprouts in here yet. So I think I did a fairly decent job on not completely digging a hole out here. So that should be spreadable pretty nice. And I don't think there's any other areas that were like that. Let's tell you what, let's go ahead and walk over here to where I did that bale grazing experiment. See if there's any sprouts coming up through that. And I'll just leave that and I'll just see what happens with it. But, you know, I was trying to spread it all out over the winter. That's why you can kind of see that there's these, you know, the jogs kind of on the perimeter. I tried to feed around the fence so it all wouldn't be in one spot. It seems to be doing pretty good out here where they were at as far as greening up okay, and I'm not seeing no just big dead spots. So, and there's grass even, you know, you got this stuff is working its way through it, this here. So we'll see. That, let's see, where was I? Did that bale? I was over here yet. But so far, it's looking like that moving them as often as I tried to last winter, or as often as I could, is paying off fairly decent. I think it was right. I think it was this one right here. The grass is coming up through it. It's doing good. They still didn't, I mean, they ate more of it than I thought they would, in all honesty, when they were laying on it as heavily as they were. but there's definitely grass coming up through it. So, you know, be anxious to see what this whole area up here is going to do when we actually get the warm weather and it stays and get some moisture on it. Like I said, 3 years ago before the drought hit, this was all filling in pretty nicely with volunteer alfalfa, so I wasn't trying to do nothing with it. And drought, so I don't know, hopefully this should be one of the better fields. It never was before, but if I go back to before the drought, if all those young plants didn't get killed out because of the drought, it should be a pretty nice field this time. So, well, this area, it was, well, the power line there this way, if it was filling in really nicely. You don't see too many. Like here will be an alfalfa plant somewhere down in there. Here's one. See, they're all just kind of just starting. Ooh, first one of the year. Got a thunder boomer going on. Too bad it's moving more east than north. I guess probably all we're gonna get out of that one is the noise. Might get something out of that one over there yet though. But in all honesty, that one doesn't look like it's got much moisture in it compared to that one. But hey, I'll take whatever we can get. It's been a pretty depressing sight the last 3 years though. It's normally doing what that one does, and it just comes off, follows those mountains, and just goes right down there. But hey, we'll get some moisture. We're due for it. Had a lot more last fall than we had previous years, so we got our good Easter storm already. So yeah, we should be getting moisture. It's greening up good, so that'll be, you know, the solar panel, and that'll be calling for moisture, so should be good. Everything's not dead to the bone out here. Because like I said, I mean, it is greening up pretty nice already. A heck of a lot more than I thought it would. But, so, there's grass growing up through this right here. It's pretty thick, but there is grass growing up through it. So, and it's just this little spot right here. We'll see what happens with it, I guess. I don't want to mess up more ground than I already did. This must have been right where the fence line was at, because you can see how thick that is. You gotta kick it out of the way and see. There is grass under there, try it, but it's definitely getting. I need to get the pitchfork up here. Sheep did pretty good eating some of this stemmy stuff. I'll tell you what, they did pretty good. But every once in a while, you'll get it all hooked up to the side fence, and then they won't touch it, of course, because they don't want to get bit by the fence. But yeah, there is green. It is. The plants are pushing their way through this. Somewhat. So yeah. Alrighty, folks. Guess that'll do it for this project. We'll catch you on the next one.